Good music.
I love it.
So good. I just want to watch 80s shows all day long.
Some of the best.
Music.
Fly to the Navigator, Goonies, Alien.
Some of the best. Music.
Circle around.
Golly, what are y'all doing?
What's going on over there?
Sorry, I'm trying to share stuff.
Yeah, it's Justin.
Stop it.
It was totally me.
Always Justin.
You would think after 10 podcasts we would know better.
He still doesn't
But
know
we
what button he's
haven't
pushing
learned
over there.
Guys, I'm still trying to make sure that my phone is tethered to my computer so I can have internet.
Justin, I just want to hug
There
you
it is.
sometimes.
Hey,
What's up,
What's
guys?
going on, guys?
what's going on?
How you doing this week?
It's a week.
It's a week, right?
It is
Definitely sums up
definitely.
this week.
It's been something.
Yeah.
It's definitely. It was hard to try to come up with a subject for this week. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
kind of you know what I mean.
It's because everything has rightly been shut down.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely
100%.
didn't. It definitely didn't feel like a. It wasn't a happy, like I want to go find Star Wars stuff, kind of week.
It's true. My brain was occupied in other things for sure.
So
For sure. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Marauders podcast.
Yes,
Let's get
sir.
into it.
what is
We got
going
everybody's
on, guys?
looking at other things. I don't know what's going on here. Joey's
I was looking
here,
at the
but not.
screen.
Yeah,
I'm just staring at you, Justin.
good. That's where it needs to be.
And
In
that-
this Ahsoka shirt. Look at that,
Beautiful
baby.
man beside me.
I love it. Hold on. Let's pull it up.
There you
Show
go. Man,
I like that.
Oh,
Come
your
on.
boy Ace. Your
Come on.
boy Ace. Pop that.
Yep.
Oh,
Show
okay.
that to us.
Mm.
Oh,
I
didn't know
like
the
yours,
favorites were
Justin,
all
but I definitely think that's my favorite.
yeah, no, absolutely. That's my favorite too.
Did Ace know that you were going to wear that shirt and he decided to show you up? That is the question.
Probably.
That is a good
You
question.
might have. That's okay.
Rachel
fine.
sent him a picture. You got to beat this. Ace is like, no
Probably.
problem. No problem at all.
Hey, by the way, happy birthday to my wife tomorrow.
happy birthday, Rachel.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Give her that
Happy
shout out.
birthday.
I'm rocking the Baby Yoda again.
I
Can't go
love
wrong
that
with
one.
I like that one.
Joey, rocking the dark side.
Black, man. That's what I'm
Straight
doing.
up.
I love
Sith
it.
Lord, Sith Lord Wall over here.
Ace, you got to buy the man some
I
more
still
shirts.
got my
I do.
Wookiee that looks like
I
Bigfoot.
know. I ran out of
I
those shirts
love
that
that.
was about me.
Sasquatch.
It does.
I still got 5 new shirts.
If
so
you
I've
didn't
got
have the
5
little
more weeks.
belt on him, you wouldn't have any clue.
Right. It'd be like, oh, that's a weird Sasquatch with a moon.
What if Bigfoot
That's
is a
no
Wookiee?
moon.
That's no moon. What if what?
What if Bigfoot is a Wookiee?
What that hey, there was a comic about that.
Is there?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
into some
When,
weird stuff.
when Chewie and Han come to
To our galaxy.
Yeah. And they
yeah.
crash land.
That sounds terrible.
Earth.
Hey, that's what you love so much. That is,
There it
that's
is.
the expanded universe right there.
That's right.
Well, some things needed to go away. Okay. Han and Chewie
Okay.
coming to Earth needed to go away.
So, real quick, we have a ton of new followers on our Facebook page.
Yes, hey,
So,
Facebook.
for all you guys that have jumped in, thank you for liking this page. Be sure to watch it and go back, see all the other stuff we've done. There's been some funny stuff that we've done, especially our trials of the Last Jedi. That
my
so
gosh.
far has been my favorite of everything we've done. Ace and Shane
Oh,
did a great job on
Jared,
that.
did you say that was your favorite movie?
No. He didn't say that.
No.
He didn't say that.
Don't mistake any of that.
Yes.
Don't mistake content
Yes.
for the like of a movie. Okay?
Oh my god.
That was good.
I,
That was good.
I liked your content better than I liked the actual movie content.
Oh, here
Oh,
we go.
there you go.
I'm gonna keep
Well,
my
anyway.
mouth shut.
If I had to like any Kennedy's content, I'm glad it was Ace Kennedy.
True. True.
Yeah, I'll take Ace Kennedy any day over Kathleen.
Yo, y'all better get off my cousin.
Just be happy we like you so much more than your cousin.
So, anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining us. Let's go ahead and everybody introduce yourself. Go with it. Ace.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on? My name is Ace Kennedy. I'm the chosen one.
Even had sound effects with that.
I don't want to go after
The
Ace
chosen
anymore.
one.
Can you move me to the bottom?
That seems kind of like cheating. Nobody else has this with us.
My name is Shane. I'm the guy that always has to go after Ace. You do. Again, you do. God.
Oh, it's
He
one
has
of your
sound
second
effect.
favorite astromech. Did you hear
I'm
that?
Joey Wall. Today I'm a Sith Lord. Apparently I got an attitude, so I'm a Sith Lord
Yeah.
tonight.
Get out of the attitude already.
Just
Hey,
ask me a question. I'll
This
rip
is
it
what
in
Joey's
half.
gonna do to us at the end of the podcast.
I'll rip it in half.
Anger leads to hate. You
Oh,
know.
I'm there. Let's do it. I don't know what I'm angry about, but I'll find something before the end.
Nice.
And last person.
Oh, I thought I went.
I never heard
Justin,
you.
I guess we're going. That's all right. It's fine. No
You
one
get to go
does.
twice.
What's up, man? It's Justin. I'm your boy. That's all you need to know.
He's so cool. He goes twice.
Go
right.
2 times, baby.
And I'm Jared.
Easy.
Hey, Joey.
Easy.
Joey,
Easy.
what's in the pork cup?
Do we have a pork cup? Oh,
Is it? What's in it?
Not safe for children.
okay, guys. Let's get into this. So
Get it.
let's start with the gallery, the last gallery episode that we had. So, what were your thoughts on that? Because I actually didn't get to see it. Some of the guys told me about it. So, Justin, I'd like to start with you. Tell me about it.
I would wish you not, because I have not finished it.
Did you not finish it either?
I did not
So-
finish it, man. No, honestly, I've had a heck of a week, and I have not finished it.
They talked about the practical effects and stuff they did. So they showed puppetry, they showed the spaceships, and like actually making the models and doing flybys and stuff. And it's just really cool to see how they're still meshing both of them. It's not all the video screen. It's not all CGI. It's not all the model. I mean, they mix it all, which is so cool. And just to hear the history, I did think it was interesting if you watch till the end. They end with Dave Filoni again, just giving a nice little rally speech that you just get excited about because he's so good. He talked about the Star Wars family and how it's really cool. He wanted to come to Star Wars because when you show up to Star Wars, there's a legacy. Oops, sorry. Hey, I'm back. There is a legacy of the way they've done things, and they just can go back and talk to the people that actually did this, and they can come back and help them and make these puppets that haven't been made since, Return of the Jedi or stuff. One of the things I did think that was really funny was they were talking about the Yoda puppet, and they showed the puppeteers that control the Yoda puppet. And one of the things that was really hilarious is one of them was talking about how they would go in when they're coaching and they would start coaching the puppet instead of looking at the puppeteers because it was just so real. You like, I got to talk to Baby Yoda, not to the people that are controlling him. So I just thought that was hilarious and really good. But it was amazing. And then to see the Razor Crest and they built the model. Astounding. Those guys just outdo themselves, and that's why we love Star Wars so much.
Yeah, I just like the way that, like Joey was saying, that they always end with Filoni and his words of wisdom at the end, and even the early designs of Yoda were really weird.
Oh, those were atrocious.
They were atrocious. So I'm glad they came up with the cute factor of him being what it was, and it was amazing to see how all the actors just knew. Like, if I'm in a scene with Yoda, it's over. Like, they just knew they were second fiddle. And of course, the best part of the whole thing is just seeing Kathleen Kennedy involved and talking.
Here we go. Here it is. Here it is.
I might mute you. Just so you know.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Well, let's talk about that fat baby Yoda though. That little fat, chubby, the one of the prototypes or whatever you call it.
Do we have a picture?
Do you have
of
that picture?
Because that thing
I don't
is
know if we
just
do or not.
straight from hell. It's
I
not
do
good.
not have that.
It's not
Oh,
good.
are you
I
kidding
would,
me? That thing was all squishy and cute.
I would take Baby Jar Jar over that Baby Yoda.
I
No,
did
don't know
love
about
that the picture that they said sold everything for them is my background on my computer. I was like, yes, I was excited. It's the little things in life. Make it.
Shane,
make
did
it
you get to
nice.
watch?
Things, man.
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, really, what Joey and Ace said. But
Well, you sound like. Well, yeah, I've seen it. Like,
no, I mean,
was
it's
terrible.
great. My favorite thing.
They didn't talk about
it,
Revan.
seriously, just the practical effects and the way that they make the practical effects, and it goes all the way back to the original trilogy. Like, I mean, Lucas was a master of it. I mean, you guys watch old movies when they use scale models and stuff; they look terrible. But Star Wars has always had such a history with making practical effects look so good, and especially nowadays, the way they blend in the screens with the practical effects and things like that. Like, I mean, I think Star Wars does it better than anyone else. I know, there's huge movies that do it, Avatar, those sorts of things, but Star Wars there's something special the way they blend their practical effects with the CGI and the screens and all the new stuff that they do and all the patents they hold on the different tech and stuff. It's amazing, like just how they make these movies work. And like, the Baby Yoda puppet cost $4 million, and you hear that and you're staggered until you see the amount of effort they put into it. And the guys it takes to run it and stuff like that. Like, I can see that. Like, and it costs that. Like, they're paying for the quality. They're not just wasting the money. They put the money where it needs to go to make the show what it needs to be. So, to me, the practical effects, it's what drives Star Wars, and I love it.
The other thing about, go ahead, Joey.
I was just gonna say, you were talking about that and Baby Yoda being 4 million or whatever. I did think it was cool. Jon Favreau talked about the ears and how important the ears were to move and do things. And I didn't think about it till he said it, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, and then just the mechanical stuff that has to go into the ears to make them do gestures and make you feel an emotion by the way they move. He moves his ears.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
that's what I-
but it can't look mechanical. It's got to look like a real living thing,
For
too.
sure.
That's what's crazy.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. As far as like, even when they're directing the actors, they had to direct Yoda too. I mean, the fact that certain emotions had to come across for certain scenes, and so I just thought all of that just worked together very well. It was a very good episode, and if you're a filmmaker, or it's definitely worth the watch. I mean, just a fan of the episode. I mean, the series itself is amazing to watch.
It's one of the best behind the scene things I've seen. Like, they've done such a good job with it. It's not just all technical jargon. Like, you get to see them, and you get to see the actors, and you get to see the directors, and just their commentary alone is worth every second.
What were you gonna say, Joey?
Oh, it had nothing to do with what we were talking about. I just thought on my screen, it's funny because it says the udders. Apparently that's what. So for those people that are listening to the podcast, I have the Marauders logo behind me, but I'm covering it up, so it says udders.
It's the utter yar.
The utter story.
The utter Yar story.
Sorry, I get
That's
I
our-
get distracted easily.
That's our late night podcast.
I'm like a
The
cat.
udders.
That's
I
why they call me
definitely think
Whiskers.
I did not get to see the that last episode, but I do know that if you look back and you even that one huge picture with like George Lucas in the middle of all the practical effects from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, and you see all those effects and stuff, there is a complete difference between that and the CGI, and it has to do with like that whole what was it? What is the big room that the Mandalorian is using right now? What is that called? Do you remember? The volume or something like that? The one that they use, like...
The
Does
stage?
anybody know?
There's Jesse. Jesse's here, guys.
Chosen one.
Anyways, so
I don't know
what
the name
room's
here.
called.
it's the whole...
glorious room of magic.
Yeah, the one where they're sitting in the giant room and the whole room parallaxes to their stuff. Anyways, it's that whole sense of light and where light falls and stuff that I mean, we've seen a lot of good effects like Lord of the Rings and things like that, but it still is not the same as when they're doing a small camera scrolling across a sandcrawler or a built Death Star that they can just rotate around like you're the actual thing. What is he? The dining room?
No one knows. No one knows, man. You get to keep on going.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
just Jesse, guys.
So it's just the whole practical thing that George Lucas did with his stuff. That stuff makes everything so much better as far as the feel of it. So,
Yeah.
baby, like the chosen one's the child, when his ears do little movements and stuff, it makes it feel real, as opposed to a little puppet that has no emotion.
Well, that's what's been good about the Mandalorian is just how immersive that entire, like, you feel like you're a part of that galaxy. For me, anyways, like just watching it, I was like, this is real. Like, this is out there somewhere. And I know it's kind of weird to say that, but it's absolutely how that made me feel. It was like, this could happen. This is like Baby Yoda could come to my house and hang out.
that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be down
did.
with that.
The other thing that I
Scary,
thought was
maybe.
really cool, George Lucas took the episode 4 with the X-wings and the way they shot it, and they were taking the Battle of Britain, which was an old 1940s movie, where they had to use cameras to shoot these aircrafts, and so he was mimicking a lot of that stuff, like frame for frame of what it would really be like shooting that way. It was just interesting. There was a lot of really cool things in this episode that just, like you said, if you're interested in any type of movies and stuff like that, it's just a great look inside on the other side.
On the other side. Break on
This
through
is-
to the other side.
This is the way, Jesse.
What did he say? Oh,
He's following the Mandalorian religion. This is the way.
Good. There you go. That's all you need to know. Hey, Ace, did you finish Lost Stars?
I most certainly did. I was not a real fan of the ending. There was something missing for me, but ultimately the story phenomenal. And like I said, it definitely makes me want to have a series that's centered around something like that. Because what I really liked about the story, without any spoilers, is that it really took characters that we did not know, put them in scenarios that we did know, and showed it from their perspective. And so they got to see things that know about art, and just to see how it affected their environment, how it affected them all together. It's definitely worth the audio book if audio books, or if you just like reading. It's a great book, man, and you can't go wrong with Claudia Gray.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like the character building in the beginning. I think that was probably my favorite part of the book, was the character building up about to the middle of the book, where you really get to know these characters. I thought she did a fantastic job. But I agree with you. The ending kind of left me wanting a little bit more.
Yeah,
It felt like she was setting it up for a sequel. And when I finished it felt like she was setting it up for a sequel. And I don't know if maybe that's down the road, or if they put it on hold with what she's working on now. But
I doubt it's going to be a sequel, just because of the fact, I'm not saying like it's never going to happen, but what I'm saying is because right after that she did Bloodline, and then she did Princess of Alderaan. So
yeah, but she wrote that ending for another book. Like,
she did.
Yeah. It's there for another book. And I'm with both of you guys. Like you don't know these characters, so there's no real attachment coming into it. But she does a great job making you care about the Empire. And it's really neat the way that she ties in the specific characters and specific scenes. Like when one of the main characters bumps into Vader or sees Palpatine for the first time, like what's the reaction of a normal Empire soldier the first time they see Palpatine? All wrinkly with his cowl and, and the way she describes his presence, like she's never seen the man, but when she talks about Vader and Palpatine, how they emanate like what did she call it? Like she could feel like a malevolence.
Yeah.
She had a better word for it. Yeah, so like they could feel the malevolence like radiate off of them. And like what a cool thing. Like what a cool thing to have an Empire series about normal people, and then we get their reactions the first time they see who their leader is. Like what's their normal reaction going to be? It's going to freak them out.
I loved in the whole beginning, kind of whenever they're going to the school and everything, and they're learning about Mace Windu, the great defector. which is something that you don't think about, like we think of Mace Windu as a Jedi, and they look at him as a negative thing. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
The other thing too is just like he was saying about their Palpatine and Vader the first time, like here all day that they're preparing, like, yo, we're gonna see Vader, we're gonna see Palpatine, and then they're walking around doing their normal thing and not even paying attention to them at all. So it was just like everybody got all dolled up and was ready to go, and then it was just like, okay, that's it. Like we just see them walk and that's it, but still could feel their presence. I mean, Vader was nobody wanted to be around Vader. Like everybody feared him, and I mean, when you get a reputation for just choking folks all the time, like it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also really loved how she did love story and the love scenes. Like it was very tastefully done. It wasn't like but it still just made Star Wars feel like real life, and that's what I really enjoyed about the book, which is why I say we need a series like that.
It had a very Romeo Juliet-esque feel to it, which I really appreciated. Even in the beginning,
they don't do a lot of romance, and I'm with Ace. Like it's nice to see them write a Star Wars novel and make it feel like a normal novel. They're not dancing around topics. Like it feels like an adult, not an adult, but it feels like a novel written for adults. Like, it's tastefully done. A kid could read it, but it still feels like it was written for adults and not children. And
absolutely,
Star Wars needs more of that. Like Star Wars needs things geared up to the older audience. Like, there's a lot of young people that love Star Wars. Yeah, but there's plenty of middle-aged Star Wars fans. And if you're going to write novels and they're going to take the time to read them, I mean, write an adult novel. Make it a little deeper than some of the children's novels that they used to do in the past. So I enjoy it.
The youth ones, yeah. Classic switcheroo, right, Jesse? Figuring out you're on the evil team. Just a classic switcheroo.
It's a classic switcheroo.
Joey is on the upper age of Star Wars fans, so
it's true.
I think he tuned us out when we started talking books.
No.
Have opinions, man.
I have a huge opinion, but it's kind of on topic, but I don't know if y'all want to talk about it.
Do it
for it. Yeah.
So the books. So I just think it's interesting. So we're all talking about, keeping these book series or getting something with this book series. And I'm looking at what's being announced right now. Like this week, they're talking about live action Thrawn. They're talking about live action Ezra. And then just, the week before, we're all talking about live action Ahsoka and live action Sabine. And I just think it's really interesting. Do y'all pay attention? Did you realize what movie their big movie that just ended? It's episode 9. And we're not carrying 9 anywhere. We're focusing. It's different. And so I just think it's interesting. I personally like it. I think Disney is making the right decisions, but I do think it's funny because if you look at the end of like Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi, like they were still pushing what they had just finished, the series that they were doing. Now, to be fair, some of that could have to do with the actors not really wanting to continue on the Star Wars train, which I get. I'm not saying it's completely but I do think that the fans like what's happening, and I think people see that, and I think it's interesting.
Yeah, but we're in a different space though. In my opinion, it's like because we knew that this was going to be the end of the Skywalker saga, I don't think we're done with with the sequels. I just think that right now, with the train of Star Wars going in a direction where we're constantly trying to have something new. I mean, we already talked about that. The reason that Bob Iger was stepping down was so that he could put forth more effort for Disney Plus. We need more stuff for Disney Plus because the streaming is where things are going right now. The movie theaters are shut down. We don't know when they're going to come back. And then when they come back, they still got particulars to figure out because certain movies are not going to be played in theater. So there's a bunch of things going on. So at this point in time, the content is proven, even with the Mandalorian series, that right now streaming is the way to go. So I think that while those movies in the past might have had more hype after they have gone, is because then they started planning to come up with other movies or other content like Clone Wars or Rogue One or other things that are filling in the gap. So I think when they decide to start filling in these gaps for the sequel, that we will start to hear more. It'll play more back into the movies.
I think it's crazy because
to...
I was going to say, like, looking at the toy sales and stuff,
That's-
like, I was in Target today, and I don't see a lot of the stuff from the last trilogy. I see a lot, and I know it's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. I get that, and that's what they're pushing right now. But even before then, like, the shelves are kind of bare. You don't see a whole lot of Rey or Kylo. I mean, you'll get a Kylo mask or maybe a lightsaber or something that's on the
You can
shelf.
find Rose.
You can find a lot of Rose. Nobody wants that
Well,
one. Or the Snoke. Nobody wants the Snoke Funko
Well,
Pops.
I mean, and think about this too. Like, of this time, of this period, this new era, we've got Resistance, right? It's a flop. It's not good. Like, we have they're about to end it, and they say, well, it was always our intention to be 2 seasons. It's like, was it really? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not
Look
good.
at the
It's not
Clone
as good
Wars.
as Rebels. It's not as good as Clone Wars. And so I just think it's interesting that they're continuing the push in this place where a lot of fans are happy that they're sitting. And I do think it's intentional for sure.
I don't think that necessarily that what's this show you just said? Resistance. I don't think that Resistance was bad. I think Resistance was geared more towards kids. I mean, you had the whole
Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels was geared towards kids, but it was also tailored.
That was the problem. That was why a lot of people disliked it. The Clone Wars, the Clone Warsians.
But they
I'm
really
saying-
upped.
I'm saying it. Go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
They really upped their game with Rebels. Like, maybe the first season was geared towards children, but after season 1, they upped their game with Rebels. Because I wasn't a huge fan of season 1, and they brought it with the rest of Rebels. Because you can get deep lore in Rebels. Like, the storylines are amazing. Like, character development. Like, they brought their A game with the later seasons of Rebels. And with the other one you're talking about, like, I can't watch it. The Resistance is rough. Like, it just seems like a kid's cartoon.
It really does.
Yeah, and that's the way. But I think the toys, I'm going to go back to what Justin said real quick. I think the toys show you a lot with how this series developed. Because you go back to the original trilogy, there were toys everywhere. And toys for everything. And then you go back to the new the prequels. Toys everywhere. When episode 1 came out, they couldn't keep toys on the shelves. And then even in the later episode 3, like, toys has always been a huge push for Star Wars. And obviously I'm a toy guy. I mean, you can look behind me, like, I've got Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
But the new trilogy, yeah, they came out with some toys, like, and there was some neat stuff. But I mean, it's a beautiful shirt. I never felt that there was a huge push with the new one. Maybe for episode 7, but 8 and 9, like, they released a few new Black Series figures, and there was a vehicle or two, but there was never like a concerted push like I've seen for every other Star Wars movie. Even look at The Mandalorian, the push they're making now with toys. Yeah, they were late, but that was intentional. But you can, they're making Baby Yoda everything, and it's selling. But for 8 and 9, and I'm not criticizing either movie, so don't take it that way. Hasbro and Disney did not push toys like they did for the rest of the trilogy. And even after episode 3 came out and episode 6 came out, there were still new toys being produced constantly. And what are we seeing? We just showed the new Black Series figures last week.
I was going to say, we saw all the Black Series stuff that just come out, and it's all Rebels. Or not, it's Rebels stuff.
It's Rebels, it's Luke, it's a new Darth Vader. Like they are still
nothing from
pushing,
the news.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not getting another Rey.
But the reason why they're focused on that stuff right now is because it's being centered around the prequel trilogy. So the thing is that so with that, that's what's hot right now. Clone Wars just went off. You got Mandalorian that just went off, and you're showing the Mandalorian behind the scenes stuff. So that's the stuff they're pushing because that's what's popping right now.
And I get that. I understand what that, and I'm not disagreeing with you because that is what's popping right now. It's like that's what's really hot. But we just got done with the Skywalker saga, like the final trilogy. You would think that would be like the big push because that should be overarching everything else.
This is why I disagree with that, because of the fact that the movie came out at the end of December. The DVD is what just recently dropped, and it just dropped on Disney Plus. And the reason why it dropped on Disney Plus so early is because of the fact of COVID. So what I'm saying is that during that time, you're still filling it up with the Clone Wars is what was just popping. The saga was done in December, so the toys and stuff were around Christmas time. There was a bunch of toys and stuff out, but now that, like you said, we're in the 40th anniversary, and we just got finished with Clone Wars, and we're in the middle of Mandalorian. So that's what's popping right now. And that's why that stuff is selling.
Man, I just remember being a young kid watching the prequel trilogy after it was over. You couldn't turn your head without seeing Star Wars something for years after it was
Right,
done.
but Justin, the difference, bro, is because back then that was the only Star Wars that was out. We didn't know we were getting all the newer stuff, huh?
You still had the originals too.
But I'm saying at the time,
outselling a lot of the other stuff.
Even more so with the originals, we didn't know we were getting the prequels. But I'm saying when the prequels came out, we thought that was it for Star Wars. That's what we thought. And so then when George sold the company, again, now the toys are following with what is happening in Star Wars at the present. So what I'm saying is at Christmas time, there was a bunch of toys out for the movies. But now, like I said, we've moved forward to the Mandalorian. We moved forward to Clone Wars. And so now that Clone Wars was such a success, you put out the Black Series of Rebels because, like Joey had told us, they're gearing up for something new for Rebels. So it's I mean, the thing is that we're moving in a train now that we're starting to get newer stuff. Because I think once they launch the stuff for the High Republic, we're going to start seeing toys for the High Republic.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I totally think that. I'm just saying that we're talking about this movie and stuff being done at Christmas. That was only a few months ago, and it's already done. Like it's wiped. Like they're already on to the next. I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand you put out what's hot right now, and that's what you push. But
6 months later,
I've been in the stores. and there's not a lot.
But it's 6 months later.
When episode 1 came out, they released 53 figures, 53 3.5-inch figures. Okay, so when episode 9 came out, they did not release 50 something 3.5-inch figures. They released maybe 10, 15. That's what I'm saying. Like there was a marketing push for episode 1, and it was huge. I did not see that level of push with anything of the new trilogy. Maybe 7. There was a lot for 7, but I felt like 8 and 9 had far less figures than I've ever seen pushed for a Star Wars movie, unless we go back to the original release of episode 3.
Joey has something to say.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. So the one thing you have to think about though is Disney didn't have Star Wars until after Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Yes, after that, and so George Lucas was pushing the crap out of that stuff because he had the royalties. He was making money, and that's why you saw so much of that stuff. I don't think Disney is like selecting stuff because they have so many other toys and stuff. I think that's the huge part of that, is that George Lucas just knew he wanted to make money off of this, and he was just throwing stuff out there.
After Joey comments, I got something to say about that.
I was just going to say, Disney, their whole deal is to make money. They're a company. They're trying to make money. Every decision they make is about money. And guess what? High Republic comes out. If fans don't respond to it well, we're not going to see toys about it. True. Same thing with the new. And so regardless if I'm not saying 8 or 9 are bad. That's not what I'm saying. You can like it. You can hate it. It doesn't matter. The overall response wasn't as good as it should have been. And so they're moving a new direction. People are getting on. People are excited with what's going on right now. And so I'm excited because I think it's a good direction to go. And we have Filoni at the helm. So, hail Filoni.
And to piggyback off of what he's saying, too, a lot of that came with the decision from Bob Iger, who apologized for it, was because of the marketing that they did for Solo. So the thing was that when Solo was coming out, they didn't get the opportunity to put the toys out as soon as possible because guess what? They were still trying to get people in to see Endgame. So that's what caused a lot of the friction. And so then, of course, Disney has been very reactionary. They looked at, the Solo toys didn't sell that well, so let's not produce as many for The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker.
Fair.
So
that's fair.
It's one of those things, like, I understand what y'all are trying to say. All I'm saying is that we are 6 months removed from that movie. We're just now really talking about it again because of the fact that, again, it was released to Disney Plus.
Yeah, and you're right, because a lot of things change in 6 months. I mean, I guess that's one thing that you really don't think about. Christmas was just 6 months ago, but I mean, look at what already happened. We have the end of season 7 of Clone Wars, which was phenomenal. That happened during COVID, and you have a lot of things that are fixing to come out. We have multiple books that have already happened. So, I mean, I see that point. I'm man enough to say that I see that point.
They totally missed out on the Luke Skywalker action figure where he just has the hand that throws.
It's a karate chop action where he just throws it behind him.
There were some legitimate missteps, because you look at the Black Series lightsaber line. Like, why don't we have a Rey Black Series lightsaber? Okay, why don't we have Leia's Black Series lightsaber? Like, guys, the Black Series stuff sells. The lightsabers sell. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing a Kylo lightsaber when Episode 7 came out, but we never saw Leia's lightsaber. Okay, we got a re-release of the trilogy lightsaber, Luke's, and they put Rey's name on it, but we see Rey's lightsaber for 2 seconds at the end of Episode 9, and we only see the top of it. I wanted to buy it, just off what the little bit we saw. This is what I'm saying. Like their marketing team should have been pushing that. Like, why didn't we have a Leia and Rey's new lightsaber come out after the release of Episode 9? Like, yeah, you don't want to spoil it, even though they don't show it in the film. You don't want to spoil it. It's there, but that to me is a marketing misstep. That is a clear thing that would sell. It's a new lightsaber. People love lightsabers. It's Leia's lightsaber. People eat Leia stuff up, and then Rey, it's a yellow blade with a whole different ignition system. And I know I sound like I'm nerding out here, and I probably am.
Do it.
But isn't that what this show is about?
This is a podcast about nerds talking about Star Wars.
Right. So I mean, they're giving us a Revan lightsaber. And look, guys, I've already pre-ordered mine, and I'm probably going to sleep with it. I'm a huge fan. I'm just saying, from a marketing standpoint, George Lucas gave us everything, and I get Disney's being a little more sparing for whatever reason, but how do you misstep and not even give us Leia's lightsaber or give us Rey's new one? Who does that? Who's like, hey guys, look, let's give these 2 new lightsabers and then not even give them a hilt? That to me is a huge marketing misstep, because that builds hype, in my opinion. You release the picture of Leia's lightsaber, people are going to lose their crap. I get it, but I think there were missteps. I would.
Well, the crap's gone. That's all gone.
I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking about having another baby just so I could have the Baby Yoda's egg crate carrier, just so I could have something to push a baby around in.
Yes.
Hey, real quick, Chris A is on another channel watching us, and he said, "My people." So, Chris, we love you, dude.
Chris A.
Hey.
Also, this is totally out. But my mom is watching, and I told her I'd shout her out. So, hey, mom.
Do it. Hi, mom.
Mama.
Hey, 2 of my favorite artists
you,
right
Mom.
now is Ace Kennedy and Chris A. Go check their music out.
Appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah.
I have Ace's CD right over here, actually.
Now I know
He
why
signed it.
Shane was censored his.
I contribute to. I probably contribute to most of Ace Kennedy's Spotify listener, the listenership.
Much appreciated.
The last 5,000 are probably just me alone.
Him and River.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we're talking about where Disney's going with all this different stuff, and obviously they announced that they're looking for a live action Thrawn. Who do y'all? I know I have a guy that I think would be perfect for Thrawn. I got a couple people, but I got one in particular. Do you know anybody that you were like, that'd be a good casting for Thrawn?
I would say Lars Mikkelsen, bro.
That'd be good.
Because you can't use his brother because he played Jen Erso's dad, but Lars Mikkelsen, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Jason Isaac. Jason Isaac is the one that played Lucius Malfoy on Harry Potter, and he also played the captain on the awful.
What is his name again?
Jason Isaacs. Dude, he would be awesome. He's my number 1 pick. But then think about, you could even pull people from the MCU because they're not in Star Wars. So you could even have Tom Hiddleston, or you could have Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
What about Nicolas Cage, or maybe
Tom Cruise. If we're just gonna throw people out there,
No, he's the guy from Instagram that got famous. The old guy. He's like, "Hey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing right now?"
Jason Isaacs would do well.
Yo,
in that role.
I'm
Jason-
just looking at Jason Isaac. Yeah, he would fit it
He
perfectly.
fits the part,
Yeah.
and he knows Star Wars. He actually voiced one of the Grand Inquisitors in Rebels. Like he's already familiar, and he likes the deal. So I just think he would be. You look at his face, and
I
you
got
can
it.
see the blue makeup. You can see.
I got it.
how do I-
Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen.
Thrawn has such a unique attitude too. I feel like he could totally pull that off. Like Thrawn is, I mean, especially when you read the books and stuff. I mean, he's such an interesting character. Like it's going to take someone that can play him, because it's a unique character.
What about Tom Hardy? Would he? Because he kind of has.
You gotta have somebody with a strong jawline. Leslie
who-
Jordan. That's who I was thinking. Thank you.
Jeremy
Maybe I
Irons.
There it is.
I don't know.
Jeremy
I'm
Irons.
telling you, look at this picture. There he is. Look at him,
Ooh,
I
that
think-
looks
I
like
think-
I
Thrawn.
could see that. Yeah.
dude. I'm telling you, it's
Pull up
Thrawn,
Jeremy
guys.
Irons.
Jeremy, who?
The
Jeremy
Rock.
Irons.
The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The
That's
Rock.
that's an interesting one, Ace. That's a real interesting one.
What about Vin Diesel?
I think Jeremy Irons he could definitely act it.
Yes.
I need
Put
The
it
Rock.
up, Joey.
and
The
he has
Rock
Yeah, I
and
got
Vin
it. I
Diesel.
got it. There it is.
No, get a better picture
No,
than that, bro.
come on.
Dude, I just
That
went
guy
to the
won.
wiki.
No, get a
No.
better picture than that.
Here you
There
go.
there
I
are
don't
much
want
better
that guy.
pictures.
I think
Okay, there
He's
you
a
go.
great
There you
actor
go.
though.
There you go. Put that one up.
Yes.
I want the other guy.
What about
First
this
guy.
picture?
That's it. There you go.
That's him. That's him. Totally.
No.
I love
Too
being
old.
live. Who knows what picture just pops up?
Yeah, that's scary.
We probably
Oh my
shouldn't do
god!
that.
No, go back to that other one. He looked like he was like.
That's
The
like
mug shot.
It's like a mud shot. Yeah, without the background.
It's like they caught him stealing from like a 7-Eleven, and they
You,
were.
just, you need someone that can do serious acting with Thrawn, in my opinion. Like Thrawn is such an interesting character. You need someone who can really pull that
so
off.
So cool. Isn't it cool that we're talking about a character that was created from a book,
Too many scarves.
right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Even with like the Clone Wars stuff,
And
there was so much extra that we've got. Thrawn being one of those things for Rebels that it's just like, man, there's a ton you could do with that.
Can
and
we
he
talk
was
about how?
EU.
Can we talk about how excited I am to see Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka in The Mandalorian?
We can talk about just seeing Rosario Dawson, period.
Dude, for real. For real. After I watched Luke Cage, hey, it was all about that. You know what I'm saying?
guys,
Dude,
if
zoom
we're
in
gonna-
on that. Zoom in on that.
We're going to
face.
talk
no,
about
no.
something.
My face. right
Not
there.
for children.
Not
just
for
released-
children.
They just released another Padme book, so yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
E.K. Johnston.
Shane
Yeah,
just
thanks.
wants a giant stand up of Padme.
100%.
Are you
I got
guys
no
gonna
problem.
re-
I'll
are
put
you
it,
and
I'll
your
put it
wife
right
gonna-
there? Right
Are
there.
y'all going to renew your vows and have her dress up as Padme?
Hey, what is in your cup, Jared? I mean, what is on your cup?
What's on my cup? That's actually our sponsor.
Hey!
How
See what
about
I
that?
did there? You see what I did there?
That
Nice
was
segue.
that was a good segue. So,
Guess what I had this
Sonic,
morning?
What did
I
you have
had
this
a
morning?
number 14 sausage with tots
Hey.
and a French vanilla cold brew. That's a sausage
French vanilla cold
burrito.
brew.
Oh yeah, but hey, they're really good there. I'm not lying. I try to get. I probably get one every morning.
The last 3 times I have just got a sweet tea, which has been
Yeah,
nice. Just a nice.
Sonic knows how to
cool-
make sweet tea
I'm a grape
Indeed.
slush guy. You can't go to Sonic and not get a grape slush.
or cherry
Great.
slush. You get a little
Nah,
present
great.
at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Back in the day, we would go and get just the limeade by itself, nothing else extra. That in itself was really good.
Yeah.
Here, Jared, I got it right here. Look at this
What,
stuff.
what is this? Is this Sonic related?
Dude, look at this. Look at these
Oh,
drinks. Look at these
It even
drinks.
got-
is.
Okay,
Hey,
so,
go-
so
right
real quick,
there.
Joey, show us your favorite drink that's porg related.
Blue
Pork-related
coconut
drink.
slush
If- if-
right
if-
here.
Ooh.
Yep.
I'm
yep.
telling you, this is the
Yeah.
best one.
That's
love the
for
blue coconut
children
slush.
too.
I actually
That
like
is
that
for
blue
children.
raspberry slush too with some nerds in it.
Yeah,
Dude, you guys ever had the
nerds.
cherry limeade slush? Oh, hello.
That orange cream slush is where it's
Okay,
at.
so how are the nerds
Yeah.
in that? Because I mean, that just seems like you're just like chewing, and all of a sudden you bite down on something like it's a rock.
You look
inside
forward
of it.
to it, bro.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you,
You know
guys
what?
haven't
This-
tried their cold brews, you should try them.
I was
I'm
gonna
serious.
say.
They're
I was
really
gonna
good.
say this week I'm gonna go try cold brew and I will report.
Yeah. Dude, the French vanilla, that one's my favorite. I'll get that every time.
That's the
Yeah.
one my kids actually liked this last Sunday that we got.
Yeah.
So
Well, cool, man. We appreciate you, Sonic, for sponsoring
Yes,
the podcast,
for sure.
man.
Here,
Yes.
let's
Oh,
check
yeah.
out
How
this.
come we don't
What is
talk about... Hey, oh, hey. That's your boy right there.
Hold on.
You like how
Oh,
fast
my gosh.
I was ready. I was
You was
fast.
quick with
was
it, brother. You
It
was
was
quick
good.
with
in.
Give us a little bit of audio. Can we get some audio?
No.
Yeah. Can
I
turn
want
it
some
up?
live. I want live audio.
I don't
I
think,
don't think
it
it's
doesn't
not
work
coming
that way.
through.
Yeah.
Oh, but look at
I'm
him.
listening.
Look at that's Ace, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Ace Kennedy. Go look
Dang,
him up
at
on
those
YouTube.
kicks.
Ooh,
Look at those kicks.
so
Man.
hot,
Man.
I like that.
so hot.
Okay.
Appreciate
so-
it, man. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
So what's
Okay.
next, fellas?
Okay, so the next thing on our list is which era of the Star Wars franchise is the best?
Oh, that's
So we've
hard.
got prequels, the 3 originals, and then we got the
Sequels.
last part.
The one that
the
nobody
last
did.
part. No, Ace will pick it. It's fine. We already know.
And the sequels, obviously.
Dude, hey, you know, man, I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion here. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Ready for my unpopular opinion? Just because, and this, man, see, I hate doing this because this furthers Ace's talk about having content. But I really, 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 it's hard for me. The OG trilogy and the and the prequels. Yeah, prequels. Man, they're right here because we have the Clone Wars stuff. Dude, I fell in love with Ahsoka and Anakin's character and learning about the Clone Wars and appreciating Obi-Wan even more. That there's so much content around the prequels that I just absolutely love it. There's so many books. There's so many things talking about what happened before the OG trilogy. I absolutely love it. And it's really close, man. I kind of almost like it a little more as far as trilogies go.
So wait, which one
Sorry.
did you say?
I said the prequel.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the prequel. I know I hate it. Sorry.
Well, for me, it's very difficult for me. Very, very difficult. I really want to pick the sequels because of The Last Jedi. But if I'm being honest, I will have to go with the prequels. And it's because of the extra content. You're talking about books, you're talking about the cartoons. It's just so much supporting content for it that you cannot go wrong with the prequels. And I mean, just to show you, we just got the Clone Wars and it made you appreciate the prequels that much more. So I really have to go with the prequels. And yes, Brown, we know that you shot the video. William Brown, I see you.
Dude, I'm with you, man. I totally agree with that. Like, it's because I feel like I know those characters more. Like that for me. And I know Shane's rolling his eyes because of Luke and Leia. No, but for me, like I feel like I know Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, everybody. Like I feel like I know them way better than I even know the OGs.
Okay,
Oh, I
so
can-
my answer would have been the original trilogy until they did away with the expanded EU. When they did away with the EU, they did away with everything that attached to the original trilogy. So we don't have what we have with the prequels. My favorite era is hands down Old Republic, but we only have 2 video games off of that, and then a few books that are no longer canon. So the prequels is where we have the most stuff, and it's some of the best Star Wars stuff. Clone Wars, Rebels, all the books that attach to the original, and then you have the 3 movies, which I mean they get better every time I watch them. Episode 3 is still my favorite. So yes, I love the original trilogy, and I would say it's my favorite if we can include all the expanded EU. But with them doing away with the EU, they did away with everything everything that I love. Like, you no longer have Mara Jade. You no longer have Luke rebuilding the Jedi. Like, and I'm going to butcher this word, the Yuga Zavong. So many
What a
different. Like,
butchering.
I'm
Which
sorry.
they might bring back, dude. They're going to bring a bunch of that stuff back in.
Right, which is fine, and then maybe that will boost the original trilogy in my mind. But like the new trilogy, there's just they're not expanding on that. So maybe down the road, but for me, it's got to be the prequels. There's just so much with the prequels, and those characters are so fleshed out. Like Maul is amazing. We got Ahsoka. We have so much with the prequels, and I mean Disney has done, or not Disney, Star Wars has done such a good job fleshing that timeline out. And I don't know if the other trilogies will get that treatment. Obviously not the originals because we don't have those characters for the most part anymore. But we could get a young Luke series like me and Ace talk about a lot. Like that would be fun. And that would really cool. That would really push the original trilogy in my mind. So
that's what you kind of alluded to it a little bit. But even with the Poe Dameron book that I did the review on, that made me really appreciate Poe's character. So it's like getting more content on the last trilogy, I think would really make me appreciate that more. Maybe the storyline would make a little more sense to me, but maybe even just the character development alone with books and with some added stuff would make me appreciate it, more than I do.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite books is still the Phasma book. The Phasma, her backstory is amazing. Her character is retarded because we don't ever see it, and then it falls into a hole. But her backstory, it's one of the coolest backstories. They did such a great job, and like it's so cool. The planet she came from, she's basically the only one left. Like, it's just such a cool story. But then we don't flesh out the character. And I think that's what we get with the prequel trilogy. And I think that's what makes it so much better is we get those characters fleshed out. And we've got more coming. We've got an Ahsoka series. We've got Obi-Wan coming. So we're getting more of the prequels. And it's just going to be better. So it's hard for me. It's hard to say anything else.
I'm sorry.
Just
made me laugh so hard. Joey or Jared, go next.
Just want me to do this? I'll just do this. Just do this every time I talk.
That made me laugh really hard.
This is how I get people to pay. This is how I get people to notice me.
Jared.
I just got to put Baby Yoda.
Jared, you go.
Obviously, I have to go. I mean, nostalgia is hard to overcome, honestly. But I definitely would have to say that the first three would actually be my favorite if I just called it out, except for 2. I don't like the Anakin part of that, but that would be my favorite.
He hates sand. What's wrong with you? He doesn't like sand.
He hates sand, guys. It's okay.
Come on. If you grew up on Tatooine, you'd hate sand too.
I hate sand.
But guys, that's so brilliant. That's better writing than anything we got in the new trilogy.
So for me, because I thought the question was like, what's your favorite era, not the favorite story or your favorite thing. Like for me, the best era is the original trilogy, and a lot of it has to do with
Leia's slave costume. Yeah, I got you. I'm with you.
Here, look, I got a little picture to tell you one thing that I really like about the original.
It better be
trilogy.
Leia in the slave costume.
No, come on, give it to me, Jared. There it is. Come on, guys. It was so good, as was the best. No, but seriously, the original trilogy is so good. And there's a reason why we're starting to get all this other content in that time period. It's because it is the best.
You notice he has a real lightsaber there and not that stupid gun thing?
He grew up. They had to give him one, so it's fine.
Sorry, I won't interrupt.
I'm fine with the gun lightsaber.
Do you? But you would be.
You would be.
I find stories a little more like engaging in the original. Like the whole idea of Jedis being elusive, being rare. Like that whole feel to me is exciting. Like, don't get me wrong. When I went and saw Attack of the Clones Episode 2, and they have the scene where everybody pulls out their sabers. I mean, look, we all are going, yes, there's Jedi everywhere, lightsabers everywhere. It's incredible. But from a story aspect, there's just something about this Jedi in exile by himself. If he reveals himself, everybody's going to try to kill him. Everybody's out to get him. That time period is just a cool time period. I think you can come up with some really good stories.
See,
it's my favorite.
Trevor, hold on. Trevor said he loves the Marauders, by the way.
there's
Yes,
nothing
he
to, no,
does.
Justin, first of all,
We love you,
there's
Trevor.
nothing to disagree.
No,
because
listen
it's
to
my
me.
opinion
No,
that I
listen
like
to
it.
me.
That's it.
I
You
disagree
can't disagree
because
with that.
I don't, listen to me. I don't want to watch a podcast with one person. I want to watch a podcast with multiple people on it.
What does that have to do with my opinion?
Because the one elusive Jedi or multiple Jedis.
Okay, you want to watch a podcast?
But there's only one chosen
with
one.
what? With you want to watch a podcast with a bunch of Jedi? Is what I heard. Okay,
Look, that's what are we not all Jedi here? What's going
I'm a
on?
Sith today. Come on, I'm a Sith
I would
Lord.
rather have this podcast than just one of us talking and boring people to death.
Totally two different questions. Okay.
No, it's not. It's a club. I want to be a part of a club.
The question was era of Star Wars, not who would you want to have in your podcast. Golly,
Where did Shane go? Did
I
he
really
rage
want Cal
quit?
Kestis.
No, he
He
didn't
just
rage
left.
quit.
Where's
Okay.
Cal Kestis? Bring him back. I think he had to see 3PP.
Well,
C3PP.
yeah, I'm really concerned though about. I really think, man, in a couple of years, if we start getting some more content for that sequel trilogy, I don't know, man, because I would love to see how they brought back Palpatine in some sort of way. Like it needs to be fleshed out.
Yeah, we've all agreed on that.
Yeah,
You need to find, tell us why he's here.
Them picking up his body, them taking him to wherever and starting to try to bring him back, and then his spirit or his essence, like them cloning his body. Like we need to see all of that, like how he got hooked up to that machine, if he started out that impaired or if he just deteriorated over time, like that whole thing, how he seduced Kylo. Like I need to see that stuff.
And see, a lot of that could be told. The story of that could be told in a similar way that Marvel did with I'm going to screw it up. What was the show that they had that was just about the what the heck am I thinking of?
I don't know.
The show that Marvel had about it was
You're
just
talking
about
Agents of Shield
Agents of
Shield.
Shield. Yes, God.
and
yeah,
Peggy
okay.
Carter. They had one of Peggy Carter
Yes.
too.
So they could do that in that kind of a frame where you don't actually have those people. Like
Goes
you're
on
not
top.
actually looking at those main characters, but you're telling the story of what are they doing behind the scenes. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a really good job of that, about setting up the bigger characters, but you never really had to see them. You were getting to see the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, it got a little old quick though, because I watched Agents of Shield. It was awesome when it like connected, but then it was just like it went off in its own direction. But I know that was also during the writer strike and all that stuff that kind of
I forgot about
But they
that.
also
kind of messed up.
But they also had that other stuff going on too, where they were like, because you remember they brought old boy back and he died in the movie, so it was like, you know, the canon stuff for TV was different from the canon stuff of the movie. Then they tried to bring it back and say that now it's all cohesive canon. Like, yeah, that thing got out of hand quick.
Yeah. The
I can't
writing
wait
team
for-
was like, I don't know what to do. We've all been
I
on
go away
strike.
for 2 minutes and this is a Marvel stream.
No,
what
no,
happened?
Shane.
No,
I
no,
got
no,
it.
no, no. We're
Hey,
comparing. We're comparing.
Jared, put this
Yeah.
up. Shane, can you make this face for me? Can you just make this face right here? Come on, it's you, Shane.
Oh my
Guys,
It's that
gosh.
face.
Let's
it,
be honest.
Shane.
There are
Try it.
There are very. This is going to be offensive, so I'm going to apologize in advance. There aren't a lot of attractive gingers. Okay, I'm not one of those. Okay,
Okay,
not
there's
gonna happen.
proof.
Why are you
There's
talking
proof
not
about
gonna
right
happen.
there.
Do it.
Okay.
Do the face real quick.
like
You have
the man
to do
has
it.
no. The man has no
Do the
freckles.
face.
Like it doesn't even make sense.
Let's.
That's an
It's-
attractive ginger right there. And look,
Exactly.
hey,
It's
show
not happening.
Shane real quick. Show Shane real
Quit
quick.
showing me. I'm gonna
Show it.
shut my computer
That's an
down again.
attractive ginger right there, baby. Right there. That's an attractive
It's,
ginger.
it's the shirt. That's what's
All
going
I
on.
see is the shirt.
I just mesmerize you with the shirt. You guys are welcome.
Maniac Medic. That is Ian from Shameless.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
the same
also
guy.
and it's what's his name from Gotham? I can't even think.
Oh yeah.
He played the Joker.
Joker, right?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
trying
he
to think.
played the-
What was his name though? On
I
Joker.
can't remember his name.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna take that off because I don't
No,
know where
I
you're
got
going.
that. I got that. Well,
To
I'm
be
getting the
careful,
actual
Joey.
actor. I've got the actual actor here.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor. Hey, are we gonna get to my question?
Yes, we'll get to it.
In 45
Okay.
seconds. Better be
No,
quick.
it's fine. We can go over. It's fine. It's
Here it
fine.
is. Here he is
Skip
right
you.
there.
That's what
Hey
I'm-
guys, just so you know, if
normal.
you don't plug your laptop in, doesn't
It
help.
dies. What's his
does.
name?
Shuts
What's his
off.
name?
Oh, that's what I was supposed to look at.
Oh my god.
He just wanted a pretty picture of him. That's all it was.
Oh, there he is with a beard.
Cameron something.
Cameron Monahan. Monahan?
That sounds right to me.
Cameron-
Yeah, there you
I
go.
like
Monoghan.
Sidebar.
Monoghan.
I don't think it's
I
supposed
like
to
that.
pronounce the G.
Monogamy.
Not that he's ever
Monogamy.
going to watch this, but he's going to hate us.
He'll be like,
He's
guys,
he's
shut your mouth."
fantastic and shameless, and I can't wait until they make another one of those games because that game was so
Dude.
good. One of the best
Yeah.
Star Wars games they've made.
I'm telling you, out of nowhere, he's going to show up as a surprise. And
I hope so.
If Ezra was somebody, he's going to. It's going to be.
I
Well,
hope so.
they kind of have to. Like, he's there. He's a fantastic actor. Like, people love the game. Like,
Yeah.
why not use him live action? It's a
Hey.
misstep if they don't.
Hey, so, Ace, you go ahead and introduce.
So, Maniac Medic, or better known as Bonnie, she wanted to explain why she thought the original trilogy was the best era.
Oh
Come
no.
on.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
tell 'em.
Bonnie.
Tell
No.
'em,
Hey,
Come on, Bonnie.
Bonnie, listen,
Ain't she
I always
tatted
said
up?
Bonnie knows.
I was about to say, show us those tattoos because those look
Good,
pretty
Liz,
cool.
look at that.
What do you have there? What's that one? Oh no,
we
she
can't hear
muted.
you.
Yeah,
Are you
can't
there?
hear you.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Look at
what a
that.
Sorry,
fail.
I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
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 Yoda, is that Yoda behind you?
Yeah, that's so. I have Yoda here, and then I have R2D2.
She's got Snake Yoda.
and look at this.
You're already my favorite
Oh, wait.
person.
You see that?
Yes.
Come
Oh,
on.
Hang on.
Yes.
Why isn't she always on this podcast?
Trust me,
Hey,
I've been
here.
trying to recruit her.
Go,
I play
go
a
to
lot
mine
of
real
video
quick.
games.
Go to mine real quick. You gotta show off.
Oh, mine's still
Look
in
here.
the case though.
I'm with you, girl.
Better.
Justin, she's
I
a,
know, I
she's
didn't
a
take
true
mine
fan.
out. No, I play with
She's a
mine.
true fan.
You play with your
Snake Yoda.
Hey, let's not say that.
Okay. And we're demonetized.
There we go.
And there it is.
The M rating.
yeah. That's funny. But
So
anyway,
I felt bad as soon as it came out of my mouth.
yeah.
It
It's one of
sounded
those-
bad just as soon as it came out of your
It
mouth.
gets worse.
Out of context.
So anyway, why did you say the original trilogy?
Because if you didn't have the original, you wouldn't have any of it.
I mean,
Agreed, 100%.
I agree.
She's absolutely right. You guys are wrong. The original's the best.
And I think I look at it
Tell
like
'em,
I
Bonnie.
guess for the time whenever the original trilogy came out and what it did for entertainment altogether.
Yeah.
It changed
Yeah.
so much. It was like
Yep.
pioneered so many things whenever it came to movies, and so
They wouldn't even have the prequels without the originals or
Right.
the sequels.
and I also
Boom.
like the concept
That'd
of
be bad.
here's the story. We don't know why, but here's the story, and then you do the prequels, which I would say the prequels are my second favorite.
That's right.
And then
Come on.
The sequels are my
Okay, so
third
if they
favorite,
if
which
they
I
had
love
went,
them all, but that would be my order.
I hear somebody loudly agreeing with you in the background.
He's not. He's playing Fortnite.
Oh,
We,
Yeah, it's
we-
not-
Okay.
I thought he was like
We
building you up,
share a
like, yeah,
game
you
room.
go, girl. That's what
So-
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Time to switch
So-
to Valorant, guys. It's the new game.
Mark
Yeah,
Hamill was
it's-
talking
isn't it
about
keyboard and mouse. I can't do that.
Mark Hamill was talking about before they had to go back and do some rewrites because they actually had his name as Starkiller.
Yep.
What would you have thought of that movie if he was Luke Starkiller through the whole thing?
I mean, we wouldn't have known Skywalker, so I think it would have been
Yeah.
fine.
I
We
I
got
think
Luke-
it still would have ended up the same.
We got Luke
We would've just-
Starkiller in the trilogy, the last trilogy.
We would have just finished up the Starkiller saga. Like, we wouldn't have cared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it would have changed anything.
That's like ordering
Well, I mean-
Luke off of Wish.com.
Well, then we did have Star Killer in the Force Unleashed anyway, and I mean, he was a great character. So that's Sam Witwer. So
Oh, Sam, dude. Oh, Sam.
I mean, I'm not
Oh,
going to
Sam.
argue with anyone that says they love the original trilogy. I mean, it's great.
Right,
It's
you
what
can't-
started Star Wars. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have as much as we have with the prequels. So,
And I
Well,
think we'll get it.
The sequels
It
got
depends how
dropped
you
like
say
it was
that,
hot.
though. But you,
I still love
well,
them, but yeah.
You say that, but it's like there is a lot of content for the original trilogies. I would say honestly more so. It just depends what kind of content you're talking
What?
about.
No,
They did away
No,
with. They
listen,
did away
no,
with
no.
the EU.
Well,
No.
okay. Again, I said it depends what kind of content you're talking about. Because I'm coming from a role playing game. There is more content about the universe as you know it.
No. No.
Yes.
No. That's not content. No.
Yes,
like
it is
nobody's
content.
out there
Fan
reading the
fiction-
role playing games.
Fan fiction
no.
is not content. Okay,
Quit with fan
everybody out
fiction.
there that has fan fiction, Shane says you suck. You heard it.
Write
right
all the fan. Write all
heard
the
it right
fan fiction you want. Write all the fan fiction you want.
He
I'm
hates
fine
it.
with it. It doesn't
Send it to
build.
me because I'm here for you guys.
I can't. This is stupidity.
Hey, while Bonnie's on here, I want to ask. Let's do my question that I
Fan
had.
fiction. Fan fiction.
Okay. So
Fan
Justin, yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Do
Justin
it.
had asked,
Fan fiction.
Bonnie, how much fan fiction have you read?
Not a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, yeah.
That was not my
Don't
only
help
point.
him
Fan
out.
fiction. That's the one you
Don't
picked
help
out.
him out.
Sorry. I can't
I'll pick
lie.
out things with you too. It's cool.
Okay,
Don't worry about
so
it.
who had the best army? This is what Justin wanted to ask: was who had the best army?
Who had the best?
The Last
army?
Order, the Republic, or the Empire? What would be
Last
your
Order
your
built
pick?
every ship with one thing that could kill them all, so they're out.
Right, they're
No,
the worst. Yes,
yeah.
Last Order is the worst.
The worst.
The worst.
The correct answer is the Empire.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
Same
There's
here,
No question.
Empire.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, but
Oh God.
from a
He's gonna say the
loyalty
Last Order.
standpoint- No. From a loyalty standpoint, the clones of the Republic followed every order to a T. Talking about
No.
Order 6.
No, from a loyalty standpoint, it's the droids because they can't disobey an order.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about the droids. We're talking about
But
the
Justin,
armies. Republic
Justin.
army.
The droid was an army.
but
It's the
Justin,
droid
was
army.
when
feared.
the droids,
Yeah.
I mean
That wasn't in the
the
question.
clones turned and joined the Republic, so that made them have a stronger army.
but they followed orders
Right.
all the way up to the very end.
Their order was to lure the Jedi to believing that they were good, and then switch
Pretty good
to
order.
the Empire.
And look, in the Empire, they didn't have to follow orders. It didn't matter because if they didn't, then Vader would just choke them and they died. So it's fine. They were more
No,
feared.
they had
Empire
the
was
loyalty
better.
officers. Like, I mean, the Empire was amazing. Like, it was hundreds of billions of people that were ruled by fear, and it worked. 100% it worked. I mean, if it wasn't for one tiny little exhaust port, we don't have any more movies. Okay,
That doesn't seem like
Plain and
loyalty to
simple.
me, but go ahead. That's fine. You want to create
No.
a Death Star and then
they're terrified. Like the
Okay,
loyalty
so-
officers,
so-
they would test them. No, it's the Empire.
Your question was who had the best army. You didn't say who was the loyalist.
well, wasn't that the best?
It would be the
Would
droid.
loyalty equal the best?
When you say best, I think who's going
it's
to win in a
subjective.
fight?
Yes.
It's all
Who
so
would
totally
win?
subjective.
Okay, who would win? The
Bad-
Empire
Bad Batch.
army
Empire.
or the
Yeah, but
or
if
the
you're talking,
Republic?
Death Star. They had the Death Star.
We already
But if
know
you're
the
talking
one
about
thing
the-
killed.
sorry,
Go ahead, Bonnie.
One planet.
Yeah, Bonnie, go ahead.
Is he saying the droid army?
No, I didn't say the droids. I'm talking about the clones.
Oh, the clone.
Or yeah.
See,
Or
so-
when it goes to the Empire.
So who are you saying was the best, Justin?
I think the clones were the best. They followed orders the best.
Oh my God, no, they didn't.
They did
They
not.
got more
and
content
they're
on
not
the
very
clones.
good at. They're not very good at aiming.
Well, neither was the Empire. They couldn't.
I
They
know.
couldn't kill a. They couldn't kill a band of rebels.
I don't know about this.
The
You're,
best
you're
army
telling me
was
that
the
a few
Empire.
rebels
Yeah.
took down the entire Empire. That's the best army. Let's see what the Republic
at-
did.
But look at how long they ruled. You can't tell me that
30
you-
years. 30 years.
How long?
From the time of the OGs to a guy. 30, 40 years.
The Empire was the best, bro.
The
Yeah,
Empire was the best.
Empire was the best.
Straight
Fine.
armies, it's the
And
Empire.
it's the best era. That's why.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, see,
Thank
look
you.
at what you guys did, Shane and Ace.
I mean,
Look
I'm
at-
not disagreeing with them.
Huh?
I mean, they have very valid opinions. I'm fine with that.
It's fine. I hate this podcast.
They just don't like all the content that the original era has.
Again, you can't count.
No, it's
you can't
fine.
count
No, next
role-playing
week-
games,
no.
and you can't count fan fiction.
Here's what's
Okay,
going to
that's
happen.
not content.
I'm going to put together why the clones were the best army, why the Republic had the best army. I'm going to put it together. Next week, I'm going to present it, and everybody's going to shut up. I'm going to prove my point.
And I'm going to come back and show you that the original has the most content of any of them. Bottom line.
You better be glad I love you guys a lot.
We're going to... Let me pull this up real quick. I got on the wrong one. We're going to watch... We're going to show one last thing and watch one last thing.
Oh, is this the re-edit? The other edit?
Oh, no. Not at all.
Oh.
That's not what I was doing.
Yeah, and then why would you want to spoil it?
Logging out. See you later, guys.
See you later. Bye. Okay, y'all keep talking.
Is this Bonnie's kill cam?
Kill cam.
What game are you playing right now? Like, what's your main game you're playing?
Fortnite.
Is it her Fortnite build cam? Is she building all these walls?
I'm not very good at building. I'm fair.
I wanted to tell y'all I ended up getting my Oculus.
Yes.
And I've been playing Vader Immortal.
So
Okay.
You did play it? I thought you were waiting to play that.
Who was waiting for what?
He's not
I
going
thought
to
you were
wait.
going to wait till Sunday.
He's not going to wait on that.
You said
No
you didn't
way
get
he's
to Vader
waiting.
yet. I thought
No.
you said you didn't get to Vader yet.
That was 3 seconds after I opened the box. What are you talking about?
Is the Oculus that thing you were wearing in that picture?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a standalone. It doesn't go on your phone. It's just it's the Oculus Quest.
Iconic.
But listen, I'm not spoiling anything because I want y'all to experience it for yourself. But all I'm gonna say is there is a part where Vader walks up to you in your face, and it's incredible. That's all I can say.
If Oculus wants to sponsor me, I will get a tattoo of your logo.
I will. There you go. There it is.
Send me one. You can tattoo your logo anywhere
Put it on
but my
Twitter.
face.
What's up,
Anywhere
bro?
but my
Hey.
face.
Okay.
Did you
I'm gonna
finish
kiss Vader in the mouth whenever I see him.
The Jedi Fallen Order yet?
I have not
You see
finished
Vader
Fallen Order
again?
yet. I don't
Come
know what you're
on,
talking
man.
I think
Bonnie,
next
have
week
you
we just need to
finished
spoil the
Fallen
ending
Order?
for him.
No.
Oh.
Have you played it?
No.
It's
Oh, okay.
I
really
haven't
good.
yet.
You
It's
should.
really good.
Okay.
Are you
Here
a
we go.
console
Here we
player or
go.
PC?
Hey.
Both.
Okay.
All right,
So
let's see it.
here we got to Joey showed some of it already. I wanted to actually let some people hear this. So Ace is a great singer. His music's awesome.
Oh.
So here's this. We want to see this real quick
What?
and actually
Hey.
listen to it.
Oh, this is it right here. Dang. Yeah. Wow.
By the way, this is the song that my son listens to over and over and over and over and over.
Who's that videographer?
This is actually Charles Venus.
Oh, Charlie. Hey, that's the. Oh yeah.
But all I know is one day I used to know your love language, but now it's so foreign to me. But what changed? What changed? I changed. You changed. Can't put my finger on it, but I know it's so different. I thought we had a good day. I thought we had a good
You need more views on that. Dude, that's solid right there.
I don't if you're not listening on headphones for anybody watching, if you hear the stuff going on around you,
Yeah.
that's the kind of music I like when you can hear it everywhere.
It really dominates my ears, kind of like the Republic Army, dominated everything that they ever did.
Hey, can you mute Justin?
Okay, so you guys got a good flavor of that. That's some good
Those-
stuff though.
Yeah.
Appreciate
You
that.
definitely need
Yeah.
to go watch that, follow that stuff from Ace. And there's one more thing that he does. I'm gonna throw this up here too.
Can we
This
make
is-
Bonnie a permanent podcaster?
Kelly, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on it.
We got the Slash Brothers.
Yay!
Slash
if you-
Brothers
You don't watch,
podcast.
yeah. If
Yep.
you don't watch that podcast, you should be watching it because it's got some
That
good
last
content on
episode
there.
was really good.
Appreciate it.
So, Charles, you do a good job, man.
Yeah. Is he on here? Is he watching tonight? He might not be.
No, he is actually on a run tonight. I know he's getting it in.
Quit running.
You know, that COVID is catching up to everybody.
Yeah. Tell him we love him a lot.
Will do, man.
Okay, so Bonnie, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna kick you
Thanks
out
for joining
though.
us.
Thanks
You'll
for
see you
having me
next
on.
week, right? You'll be on here next week, right, Bonnie?
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Okay, all right. We're trying, guys.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.
See you later.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Okay, guys. So, good episode. Love all you guys.
Yep.
Everybody that's watching right now, or watched, even if you dropped off for a little bit, thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow these guys. I mean, everybody's got great content, other stuff they're doing. Go watch them, support all our brothers for sure.
Yep.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.
This is what it's like
What
being on
the heck
top.
was that noise?
What was the
I'm finally on the top.
What was that? Is that a Palpatine cackle?
Ahmad, this